In this question, we're given a table which shows some information about 8 planets. And now in part A, we're asked to write down the name of the planet with the greatest mass. So looking at the mass column in this table, we need to find which planet has the largest value for mass. And the first thing that we need to do is take a look at the powers. So Earth is to the power of 24, then Jupiter to the 27, Mars to the 23, then 23, 26, 26, 25, and 24. And so we can see here that the greatest power is times 10 to the power of 27. We can therefore conclude that 1.898 times 10 to the power of 27 is the largest mass, and this is the mass of the planet Jupiter. And so we can say that the planet with the greatest mass is Jupiter. Now in part B, we're asked to find the difference between the mass of Venus and the mass of Mercury. So looking at our table, we can see that the mass of Venus is 4.869 times 10 to the 24. And the mass of Mercury is 3.302 times 10 to the power of 23. And so to find the difference between the mass of Venus and the mass of Mercury, we'll do 4.869 times 10 to the power of 24, take away 3.302 times 10 to the power of 23. And so plugging this into our calculator, we'll get a final answer of 4.5388 times 10 to the power of 24 kilograms. In part C, Nishat says that Neptune is over 100 times further away from Earth than Venus is. We need to prove whether or not Nishat is correct. And so we've included a screenshot of the table above for reference. And so to work out this question, we can see from our table that Neptune's distance from Earth is 4.35 times 10 to the 9 kilometers, and Venus's distance from Earth is 4.14 times 10 to the 7 kilometers. And so we can do 4.35 times 10 to the 9 divided by 4.14 times 10 to the 7. And so plugging this fraction into our calculator, we'll get an answer of 105.07246, etc., etc. And now we can see that 105 is more than 100. And so Nishat is indeed correct that Neptune is over 100 times further away from Earth, because Neptune is actually around 105 times further away from Earth than Venus is. So we can write this as a conclusive statement below. Now part C is worth 2 marks, so let's take a look at where these marks are allocated. The first mark will be for doing 4.35 times 10 to the power of 9 divided by 4.14 times 10 to the power of 7 and getting an answer of 105.07. And now that second and final mark is for a conclusive statement which says yes, Nishat is correct because 105.07 is greater than 100, and so Neptune is over 100 times further away from Earth than Venus is.